This is Trumpeter's 148 scale MiG-3 early version. It is done up in the markings of Alexander Pokrishkin, who was the second highest scoring Soviet ace in World War II.
Really?
This was produced in, this is the aircraft he flew in the opening days of the war, June and July of 1941. And he scored a few kills in this aircraft. It's a Trumpeter kit. I enjoyed putting it together. It was a real pleasure to build, except for the wing. The wing comes in a total of 11 pieces.
The wings are 11 pieces?
Yes, the ailerons are separate. The flap pieces are 2 pieces on each side and on the bottom. The wing tops are separate, a single piece on the bottom, and then the fillet at the front leading edge on both sides is a separate little piece that has absolutely no locating pins or anything like that. It was a nightmare to get that to go together and fit properly, and I did not like it at all. Other than that, I really liked the Trumpeter kit.
Other than that one major catastrophic.
Yeah, exactly. 11 pieces.
So
Wow.
they did a really nice job with the cockpit assembly. It went together very nicely. I did use the Edward small foot wedge set in the cockpit, and that went in nicely as well.
You built any of the ICM 148 scale fighters?
No, I haven't built any of my ICM kits yet.
They all come with engines, for mounting framework and all that crap. I just glued the nose together, put the prop on. I don't want the engine to show.
Forget the, yeah,
It's such a pain to put that thing in.
Are
yes.
all ICM kits white plastic? Do you know?
I don't know.
My Spitfire is, that's the reason I was asking, but yes,
all
it
the
comes
ones-
with an engine and everything else.
All the ones
but-
I've seen are white plastic.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a
Either
little
that or very
plastic
light
to
gray.
me.
Remember what shade of green? Did come with some other nice extras to
So-
make up for it, though, the bomb racks and rockets.
Several years ago, we had a member, Randy Colin, that offloaded a whole bunch of his stuff. And one of the things he offloaded was a huge box full of paints. Humbrol, Model Master, and various other, Aeromaster I think was another brand. And no one else wanted it, so I picked it up. And in that box was some pre-thinned Model Master Russian topside green and Russian bottom side blue. And I used those paints to finish this model. So, Randy, if you see this video, thank you very much.
And
Wherever in Texas he may
Don,
be.
maybe from the 148s or 32nd scale Yaki did, or MiG.
Yeah.
Right.
They made what they were left over from.
So I added a little bit of detail into the wheel wells as well. I drilled the holes in the front forward corners for, I have no idea what the tubes are, but there are tubes going through there, big tubes, and I added those. I added the brake line components on the back side near the struts, and I added the actuating arms for the inboard landing gear doors. And I weighted the wheels. There are 2-piece wheels, and whenever you try and do a weighting on 2-piece wheels, you glue them together and then you warm them up and you squish them, and of course the seams tend to pull apart and stuff. So the bottom side has big gaps, but they're on the ground and judges won't see them. If
why don't
they
you
live
sand
by
them
model
all?
to see it, they're in trouble. So,
What did you use for your heat source? Candle or?
Candle.
Candle.
yeah.
Why not just sand the little flat
Try your
spot?
wife's iron.
Because there's also, if you look at a weighted tire, they bulge.
Some.
So,
You see everybody
Most.
build these jet fighters with the bulged tires? What that says, not that realistic, that just shows you the lazy crew chief.
yeah, wrong air pressure. Yeah. So, and I used stretch sprue for the antennas. I used, or had to substitute in part of a squadron vacuum-formed canopy. The rear window
Stretch sprue.
was, nope, that's kit piece.
Okay.
But I did use the front windscreen and the sliding canopy out of the kit. Nice pieces. They actually included rivet detail and the framing lines, and just really, really nice. I can't say enough about the molding on the Trumpeter kit. It was super.
Yeah, except for the wings.
Yeah. Well, that was just a design flaw for the engineer. That wasn't the molding. And I did use Quick Boost resin exhaust stacks on it.
Was it a design flaw on the part of the Soviet engineer that designed the aircraft, or the model maker?
Oh, it's the model maker. So
Because the
we
Chinese
have
are
to
known
go
for
to
copying things, flaws and all.
yeah, we have to look straight at Trumpeter's engineers for that. And I used the Trumpeter decal set. The one thing I'll say about Trumpeter decals is that they are a little bit flimsy, and they take an extra amount of time to soak, so they release well from the paper. I pulled one of the ends off the one of the stars, and got lucky. I was able to put it back in place, and the seam is not visible. So, but that's Prikushkin's fighter, and I enjoyed building it.
59,
It's not
59
visible with the
kills.
naked eye, but some micrometer police judge is gonna get down there and see it.
That's all right. I really couldn't care.
That's the spirit.
You had fun.
That's right.
If I may ask,
This is airbrushed, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I alternate back and forth between airbrush and Ralican depending on what's available. The colors were available in bottled paint, so I airbrushed.
What glue or cement did you use on those tires when you put them together?
I used a glue that when I'm done with it, I will never buy again. The Tester's liquid cement.
Oh, the liquid cement.
I was
That's with the
really,
brush.
really, yeah.
Okay.
That's all we used.
You say the bottom of the tires have got an open seam in them because of the heat distortion?
Right.
Okay.
Get it again.
Yeah.
You can see the gaps
Yeah,
there that
okay.
came up. Yeah.
Next time you do this technique, which is, I use this technique as well, use the tire, glue the wheels together with the regular cement.
The tube cement.
tube cement.
Yeah.
And let them dry for a good 72 hours before you heat them.
And that's
And
probably
then
where
when you squish them, you won't get that seam opening. And if you do, use that same glue inside that seam.
Fills the gap.
And with the end of your finger, wet it down and let it dry and paint over it, and you won't even see that seam again.
If the seam comes apart, I just say the judges won't see it, and that's good for me.
Well, yeah, fine, okay.
But thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I will
Remember,
try
sloth
that
is
with
one
the
of the
glue.
7 deadly sins.
I'm dead already, so it doesn't matter.
All right.
Thank you.